Guy Gadowsky has enjoyed a very impressive coaching career to date. He has helped build programs at Alaska Fairbanks and Princeton University to top national programs. He has developed NHL players and won conference championships and had teams participate in the NCAA tournament. He has been recognized with both conference and National Coach of the Year honors. He is highly respected among his peers, and every person we spoke to spoke about his high integrity and his passion for the game and for the student athletes that are under his leadership. His players have consistently excelled in the classroom and in the community as well. We believe he has the total package to reach the goals for our program and will be a fantastic addition to the Penn State community. We are thrilled to introduce him as our head coach. Please join me in welcoming the new head coach of the Penn State men's ice hockey program, Coach Guy Gadowsky.
Coach, it seems that in your previous two stops you've had, obviously you have experience rebuilding programs. What can you take from those previous experiences into the situation you're coming in now where you're building the D1 program, from scratch?
Well, I think you take a little bit from every experience you've had, but I don't look at it actually like we're building from scratch at all. We have a great position here. I mean, you look at the success that the club team has had. It's been phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal, and I know there's already a great fan base, not only student body, but community members that love hockey. So I think we're well ahead of the game, that's for sure. So by no means are we starting from scratch, but I think everywhere you go, you can take parts of it with you that you can use to make the next place successful. So I think probably the biggest thing is one of the reasons this was such a great fit is that Penn State does things right. I mean, they have the top graduation rate among the top football schools. Far and away, they do. You never hear anything bad in the news about Penn State. When you hear about Penn State on ESPN News or news, it's about great things, not bad things, and that's extremely important. Obviously, it didn't take me long to be here to understand that that's something that Coach Paterno obviously set the foundation and standards for, and I think the entire athletic department is following along. So that's something that I would very much like to continue. And at Princeton, the place where I was last, we were led by just a great athletic director who led through a foundation of values, and I understand. I grew to appreciate the values, but I also now grew to understand that if you want sustained long-term success, how holding true to those values is very important. So hopefully, we will bring that here.
Coach, what are your plans for this interim year before the first official season?
Yeah, I get to coach a team. I'm excited about it. I want to get to know them, and also I think a lot of the season, not just hockey, but I'm very intrigued at how this machine gets to be how it is, and I want to learn from it. I want to meet a lot of coaches and see how they've been successful and how they generate the pride, how the whole school generates the spirit that they do. So I think the first year I get to coach the team, but more, I guess, for myself is just learning how you do things so well. I mean, everything you do, obviously, you do better than great. You don't do anything 99%. Nothing you do is 99%. And I want to learn about how you accomplish that. And at the same time, I think you do it, but you do it with values. I think, actually, there's a lot of, obviously, very impressive things about Penn State. And but one of the things that really sort of stuck to me is people can talk values and talk family, but I had the opportunity to meet Coach Guy Paterno, and when I was in his office, we were talking about a lot of things, but part of the spirit is what's very important to me. I would really love my boys and when my girl gets a little older to experience the spirit that we have. But I remember looking behind Coach Guy Paterno's chair, and he had this picture drawn. It was obviously drawn from one of his children, and it was a picture of a football player, and it said, "We are Penn State." And I thought that was the coolest thing. Like, that's what I would love to have for my family. So I guess the answer is I want to learn how you do things so well, but keep a grounded foundation as well.
What are the resources that he'll have to work with in terms of scholarships available and the recruiting budget in general?
The recruiting budget right off the bat will be what it's going to be every year. I mean, he's going to get the full slate of what we've budgeted, so he can get to travel wherever he has to go, he and his assistants. And then one thing we can't do is give all 18 scholarships out in the first year.
Right.
So he's already got a plan in place, and he's smart enough to know that you don't lock yourself. Well, we're going to do 6, 5, 4, 3, et cetera. He's looking at, okay, well, we might be giving some kid 2 years, might get front loading somebody's, back loading somebody else's. We're bound to get some kids that are going to transfer here. We're bound to get some kids that are going to be playing maybe junior college. Although again, that's a question for him as to whether he wants to go down that path. But I do think that a number of the guys that are on the current team will be playing.